Greetings everyone. This video I'm going to be talking about blood over intent and how it is a trap and not beneficial to a source player.
Greetings! This Infinite Source Truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
So the blood over intent movement. Let me explain to you the power of your blood as a source player. Your blood is a representation of your soul cage. You see, your DNA is your soul cage. It is linked with your birth name and your frequency, your script within this illusionary dream state. You are asleep. Your physical body is connected to this game. It is an illusionary dream state of being. You follow your script until you have raised your frequency high enough and unlocked your script, where you then can become the creator of your experience. There is power in the blood. It is your soul cage. Your soul cage is made out of your DNA. Your blood is the representation of you. Without the blood, there is no life. Without your source self, there is no life. You exist. Who you really are is your source self. Your soul is the cage that's trapping you in this game, confining you. It is your role and your script. Your blood, your DNA is tied to that script. The cage that is holding your source self is DNA. It's a DNA cage. Now, whenever you spill your blood of your own choice with intent, you are contracting in a most extreme way. You are consenting. Now, when you do that, what are you consenting to? First off, I will say it's never, ever, 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 ever beneficial for a source player to do any type of a blood covenant or a blood ritual or a blood anything. Ever. Never. It's never, ever beneficial. Now, if you have done it, you are not going to be stuck here because the game's been won and everybody's going to leave. What it previously was a soul trap, and it would have been very problematic for you, as you would have been stuck and holding. But since the game has been won, and basically you can do whatever you like now, you're still exiting the game at the end of this life. Whenever you finish this script out, you're done. You go back home to your source self-awareness outside of all the matrices. But while you're here, choices you make have consequences. All things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial for you as a source player. You need to realize you need to do those things which will benefit you and avoid, not give energy to those things that will hinder your journey or your progress. Now, whenever you willingly make a statement of over owner's marks, spelling, when you spell something out on a piece of paper and then you spill your blood on that paper, you are really extremely consenting to that thing that you have signed your name on. And it's sad because you really think you are doing something good for yourself and for the world, and you have just given your power away you've given your power away. this thing of your intent to bring heaven on earth. Well, you can never bring heaven on earth, you see, because this is a duality matrix. It is balance that keeps the matrix running. It cannot exist with everything in perfect, what you would consider heaven, and some people's idea of heaven will be different than other people's idea of heaven. If you're talking about there being peace and there not being any of the lower frequencies, well, that's not going to happen. The only way that can happen is if you raise your frequency to a high enough plane that those things don't affect you, but they will still always be within this matrix because it can be no other way. A balance is always maintained. Now, another thing about your intent to bring heaven on earth, you cannot do that. It is impossible for you to do that. It's not possible. Think about it. Are you nice all the time? Are you being beneficial all of the time? Does a cross word or a thought come into your mind? I guarantee you it happens to you, because if you're doing these things, you're on a lower frequency realm and you can't escape those thoughts. Those thoughts are always going to be there as long as you're in the lower frequency realm. And that's where the blood over intent community is. It's the lower frequency realm. You see, because if you raised your frequency high, you would realize that you don't need to do that. That is a conspiracy. That's another ritual. That is a trap. And whenever you spill your blood, you are inviting attachments to you. When you put your name on that, you sign that with your, the blood over your intent is very, very powerful, because your blood is your DNA. It is your soul cage. It is your contract. And whenever you spill your blood with intent, then you are bound by that. And if you fail in that attempt, well, you've done yourself in. Do you really think that you can succeed at that statement? You have high hopes, but hope's a beggar. And it's not reality. Now, all of this is an illusionary 3D virtual reality game that we're asleep and we're dreaming and we're playing. Source players, you need to realize the power that you have. And the only power that you can experience is if you raise your frequency and get out of the lower frequency conspiracy realms. Those things are very real in those realms. But if you raise your frequency and you change your plane of existence, then those things can't touch you. They can't harm you. They do not exist in your reality because you are not giving energy to them for them to be there. Whatever you give attention to, that conspiracy, that thing in your reality, then you are linking up with it, and you will experience it more and more in your experience because you're energizing it, and it will come to you. If you're in a lower frequency realm, the fastest way to get yourself out of it, and the only way of getting yourself out of the lower frequency red zone, is to remove the animal meat, flesh, blood, fish, and anything with a heart from your foods consumed, because they are not foods for source players. They are not foods for source players. They have a heart. They have blood. Now, it is an illusion, but it's the rules of the game. Because whenever you eat the animals here, you are giving consent for things to be done to your physical body. And when things are done to your physical body, it affects your empowerment within this 3D virtual reality illusionary matrix that we are in. Everything has an effect, good or bad, which is duality within this secondary duality matrix that we are experiencing. Now, you have been involved in the blood over intent, and you've dropped your blood and you've consented and you've done this. Well, you need to with your intent. For your blood over intent, except for this time you're not going to use your blood, you're going to use your link to your birth name, and you are going to revoke the intent that you applied to that document, to the ownership marks and the spelling and the ritual that you performed and gave your DNA consent to. you are going to revoke it by the authority of you as a source player. And you need to stop eating the animals to raise your frequency, to prove that you are a source player so you can get connection to your infinite source self and become empowered by that alone. Then you have, you can unlock your script and you can create and do things that will benefit you more so than what is scripted for you. Source players are falling to the devices and the distractions, especially in the lower frequency realm, of fear and worry and concern and conspiracies. Now, yes, they are very real, can be very real. Some of them are just illusions in people's minds, but those things can exist in the lower frequency realms, and they will not exist in higher frequency realms. They exist only because source players are giving energy to them. And as long as you are giving energy to a conspiracy or fear manipulation type of an existence, then you are empowering that in your own life. It will have power over you because you are giving power to it. You are consenting. This game is much bigger than anyone in a lower frequency state of being is even aware of or can be aware of. You need to raise your frequency, and it starts with removing the animal meat, flesh, blood, fish, and anything with heart from your food consumed. This entire game is a mental game. It is a mental game. And your frequency determines what mental state of being and plane of being that you are on. Raise your frequency so you can get out of those lower frequency fear state and create your best life yet. You do not have to subject yourself to fear or to a less than amazing life. See, that's a choice that you're making. It really is. Raise your frequency and experience your best life yet. Now, is everything that I've shared here infinite source truth only and not what I think or believe? And that is a yes from my program, Pendulum. If you found this information to be beneficial to you, then consider supporting this channel as you unlock things that you can unlock no other way. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.